Good afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time you're joining us for Spice It Up and Try Something New here in the Fairport Harbor Public Library Test Kitchen. I love saying that. Tonight, no, you know what? We're filming this at night, so bear with me. Today, our spice is coriander, brought to us by Old Familiar Ways. And yes, yay, Old Familiar Ways. We love them. And being prepared for us this evening, are we calling this zucchini falafel? Is that what we're calling it?
That's what we're calling it, yep.
Okay, we're making zucchini falafel, being prepared by the author of this cookbook. This very cookbook that's here at Fairport Harbor Public Library, entitled Help Me, I'm Vegan. This is the cookbook that made me unafraid of tofu.
Yes. That's why I wrote it.
Lee wrote it. It's wonderful. And it's available at the library for nothing, or you can order it on Amazon for what's the going rate now?
It's $10 for an ebook, $15 for the physical copy. If you want real specific recipes, don't buy it. You will hate it.
That's true.
It's a loose guide.
It's a suggestion.
It is. It's kind of like the stop signs in Fairport. This is a suggestion.
And the recipe we're making is not in it.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with anything. Yes, ma'am.
The camera's right here.
Hello, camera. That's the microphone. I'm talking to the microphone. The camera doesn't care. You know, quit.
So what we're making today, we're gonna make zucchini fritters, but we're gonna season them like a falafel. So falafel is typically made with ground up chickpeas. We're basically just gonna make it with shredded zucchini, and the term falafel is gonna be used a little bit loosely today, but those are kind of the flavors that we're going to use. So we have a pan with some oil heating here, just so it's ready for us so you don't have to watch it. This one's gonna come together pretty quick. So Kathy has gone ahead and even shredded our zucchini for us. So if you have one of these guys or a box grater, shredding zucchini looks something like this, and then you end up with this. So you put your zucchini in the bowl.
Although we did not use that. We used the ever popular food processor. And thus, there are no fingertips in this zucchini.
If you have a food processor with a shredding thing, run them through there, it'd be awesome. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is season our zucchini with a normal amount of salt. We need to get a salt shaker in here.
What?
A normal amount of salt and pepper. And then we're gonna add a little bit of...
cups are in there if you want something that's, you know...
I just didn't want to put my fingers in everything. So I have about, let's say, what's one large zucchini worth in this bowl. Maybe 2 medium zucchinis would be. So anyways, we're going to add a couple tablespoons of cornmeal, which is kind of optional. You can do it just with flour, but I like the extra flavor of the corn and the texture. I was actually going to bring corn to put in here, but I forgot.
That is roughly 2 cups of zucchini. You stop spinning.
And then we're just going to use all-purpose flour. If you want this to be gluten-free, you can use gluten-free flour. It would work perfectly fine. I'm going to go with 3 tablespoons of that, and we'll see where it gets us. So we're going to stir this up. We're going to add a little bit of water. Is there water in here?
Yes.
Yes.
No, be afraid. Be very afraid.
Fully, I don't know how it works.
Here.
Oh, we gotta warm it up. Ah, okay. Teamwork. Okay, so we're gonna add a few tablespoons, let's say probably equal parts of flour and water, and then we're gonna mix it up and see how hydrated it is. You'll need different amounts of water based on how wet your zucchini is. So what you want to do, and what Kathy has already done, is squeeze all the water out of your zucchini after you shred it. So you can do this either by hand,
No, I really didn't. It's just very dry.
It's dry zucchini. If your zucchini is dry, you can skip that step. I thought it looks like it's nice and wrung out. So anyways,
I did this at 5 o'clock this morning. Seriously?
we could have just lied to the people. They wouldn't know. The zucchini's been wrung out. Okay, so when you shred your zucchini, you can even sprinkle it with a little bit of salt and it'll bring some of that moisture out. And then either with your hands or in a cheesecloth, in a clean towel, whatever, just wring it out, get as much water out as possible. But so you can see that it's kind of holding together. Maybe you can see that it's holding together, but it is. So we're gonna add our...
So I'm noting that you're not putting any kind of binding agent in there.
well, the flour is gonna do
The
that.
flours that you're not putting, I mean, obviously there's no egg, but there's also no, what do you usually use? Cornstarch either.
Yeah, no, this is gonna hold together just like this.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's very simple. I'm gonna add some cilantro. You can also use parsley. And then we need our
There's the
Our
ever
spice of the
popular
month.
Spice of the month.
So coriander is actually the ground up seeds of a cilantro plant. So they are relatives and they go well together. So that's why we're doing the cilantro leaves in here.
I wonder if we can't open one.
I got a knife.
Thank you.
I have a knife, it didn't work. There we go. Okay, so coriander is kind of, has a little bit of like a floral note to it. And
Smells
then
really yummy.
to make it really taste like falafel, we're gonna add some cumin, and that just smells like falafel. That's like as soon as you smell that, you're like, oh yeah, falafel.
If you haven't had falafel, if you don't know what it really is this with chickpeas instead of zucchini.
Yeah.
And it's ground up and fried, and it's Middle Eastern. That's its
Yes.
location of origin.
Lebanese, I think, specifically.
I think so.
Yeah.
And you dip things in it. You can have falafel sandwiches. Well,
Go to Aladdin's and just get it, and you'll know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this is ready to go. So if you add your is that too hot?
It's pretty hot.
Let me turn it down a little bit. If you feel like it looks a little soupy, add a little more flour. If you're not sure, let it rest and just let the flour get fully hydrated. And then we're just gonna form it into little cakes and put them into our pan that has been heating. And just let them go. They'll only take a couple minutes per side. This is gonna be a pretty quick process. You can make them any size you want, just keeping in mind if they're too fat, then they might stay a little doughy in the center. So I like to keep mine a little on the smaller side. And then just pat them down in there. And if you notice that they're falling apart, which ours look like they're gonna hold together, you just add a little bit more flour.
Not to the ones in the pan.
Not to the ones in the pan. You can edit what's still in the bowl. And I'm gonna just go with 4. We don't wanna overcrowd the pan too much, so 4 is where we're gonna land.
These are holding together really nicely. They're moving around in here of a piece. It's really nice.
Was this for my hands?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, so they're sizzling away.
how do we know when to flip these?
So we'll see the edges start to get brown, and then you'll know, once you can see that brown around the outer edge, then you'll know that your bottom is likely brown as well, and then you can go ahead and flip. I think we're probably like 30 seconds away. Let's bring our heat back up. When you, that pan was heating for a long time, so it got a little hot, but then keep in mind that whenever you add something to the pan, it's gonna cool it down a little bit. So we're on a solid medium high. Your stove may be different, so just adjust. You want to make sure it keeps sizzling. If at any point, if you put your stuff in there and the oil is just kind of flat, your food's gonna absorb the oil and it's just gonna be greasy and not real crisp. So you wanna make sure it's hot enough to keep that sizzle. So if you put the first one in and you think it's not right, then turn up the heat and try again. And I think we're ready to flip.
I'm not doing it.
Oh yeah.
Those are beautiful. I have conquered the tofu thing. I have not conquered the pancake thing. I make the world's
So
worst
can the camera
pancakes.
see this? Can the mirror
We
see this?
actually- Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you can see
You
nice
can put it
and
back on the stove, you
oh,
can see it
perfect.
perfectly.
Okay. Great. So you can see that those are brown, and then we're just gonna cook them on the other side, and we're gonna put them on a plate with some hummus and eat them.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, so if you can add other vegetables to this. It doesn't have to be zucchini. Just shred up anything you can throw in there. Corn, scallions, any vegetables, carrots.
Anything that'll shred.
Anything that'll shred can go in here, or that is small. Like you don't have to shred your corn, obviously.
Have you ever done this with potato? Well, it would be potato pancakes.
Potato pancakes. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you do this, is it the same general principle?
I think
of
so.
Flour, cornmeal?
I don't think I would use cornmeal with the potatoes, but maybe I would. I don't know. I never have. You totally can. There's no rules. Just make it stick together and put it in a pan.
Well, and you can see here that it's holding together nicely on its own. Wow, it does smell like falafel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with chickpeas. If you hate the texture of chickpeas, you can do it with whatever.
Yeah, this is gonna have a very different texture than a falafel would. And if you are making falafel, fun fact, you're supposed to use raw chickpeas, not canned ones. You soak them until they're a little bit soft, but you don't cook them. Grind them up, and then go from there.
Do you make it that way?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okie dokie.
That's the way to do it. Ask a Lebanese person, they'll tell you.
We need a lesson in what to do with chickpeas.
Next month, and
Well, no, we're probably still going to be doing garden stuff next month. I
okay,
would
garden
think.
stuff.
You know, if you all would comment,
Yes.
what would you like to see cooked in the kitchen?
We'll make it for you, maybe.
We'll make it. We will veganize it if you'd like. Well, actually, we
No,
will.
we will. Whether
veganize
you
it.
want us to or not,
we will veganize it. And we'll make it for you.
Yeah. Right here.
Because I'm kind of guessing when we decide what we're going to cook.
So am I, as I make it. So far we've nailed it every time. And these are ready to go. Do we have a plate?
We do, right beside you.
I even have the hummus here.
She made way too much hummus for the weekend. Yeah?
I made more than I needed, yeah.
How long? She's also incapable of slapping things on a plate and not finishing them, which I love. I love it.
So there we go. We've got some zucchini fritters seasoned with cumin and coriander and some hummus. And
That is just beautiful. And it's
and it
just
took like 4
that.
minutes.
Nothing. Well done, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Old Familiar Ways. Get the cookbook. Visit Wild Sport. Get the next. Where are you next?
I don't know. It's on our website. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.